All right, what do we think this is? What could this possibly be? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not the Death Star. But other than that, it could be anything, right? Anything but the Death Star, realistically. Let's find out together, shall we? I got some wonderful gifts from my family this past holiday season, and they opened up the opportunity for me to complete a trilogy of gifts that involves Star Wars books. So, this is actually a different format than the other ones. This is the concept art book of Star Wars. Now, George Lucas curated 3 Star Wars art volumes. The first one is concept, the second one is comics, and the third one is illustration. And this one is a foreword by Joe Johnston, an introduction by Doug Chiang, and you know them as illustrators, but you can see that the spine here is very specific and it matches up with the others, even though the format's different. And then we have some concept art. I am a huge fan of Star Wars concept art. I have Ralph McQuarrie's special collection that's like a 3-book set of his Star Wars illustrations and concept art. And so I just kind of wanted to walk through just a few of these so you can get, oh man, this is like old school. McQuarrie right there. Just so you can get a sense of these 3 volumes because they're so beautiful and great. The formatting is just amazing. I love being able to see these early concept art illustrations. We've got a little bit of a prequel era here. Oh man, look at that. McQuarrie Vader. I love the angles all over here, especially in his face, and the way he depicts the lightsabers. I think are just fantastic. Oh, little Dagobah never hurt anybody. Except for R2, he got swallowed by a monster. But everyone else was pretty okay. Look at Yoda. Oh, I love these early illustrations. They're gorgeous. Got some Cloud City over the gas giant of Bespin. The Death Star. I wonder if that's over Yavin, right? Yavin 4? Maybe? Who knows? It's just beautiful. Oh, look at that. And that's the thing with this. You know, they did a lot of these concept illustrations without any guidance from George Lucas. And then he would come in, choose the ones he liked and he wanted to run with for imagery. Oh, look. Slave 1. That's got to be Camino. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, look, is that Boba? Or is that just an early clone illustration? But these are, George Lucas curated them from all of this saga. Not the sequel trilogy, because that came after. But that came after this was published. And I'm just skipping forward ahead so we can see a whole bunch of these before I end this mail time episode. But yeah, even Sexy Robot. Betty Droid is what she's called. Oh, you gotta love the Twi'leks. I hate that they're slaves, that sucks. But if it's an empowered Twi'lek who wants to dance, more power to her. You got some Clone Wars era illustrations here. I love that. Oh yeah, look at that. Concept art for the Force Unleashed video game right here. Right here. So it's from, everything from video games to animated series to the films. And it's just a beautiful collection of tons and tons of concept art. So I'm going to take my time going through that later. But what I'd like to do in the meantime is show you the other ones. So this is the illustration version, and you can see the formats are completely different. One is horizontal and one is vertical, which kind of bothers me. Because I have to put them on my bookshelf. But this is just the basic illustrations that aren't necessarily concept art, but maybe after the fact were created as posters or video game covers or novel covers. Just some really beautiful work. You gotta love Wookiees, right? They're just the best. This is so great. I love Emperor Palpatine. You got this wonderful green and red, these contrasting colors, just encapsulating his evil, this menacing face. You have to love Ben Kenobi. He looks great. I love these illustrations. They're so good. These are different posters that were released. And it has like celebration release posters and stuff. Like karaoke night with Chewbacca might not be the best of times. Of course, Yoda is just, he's just great. He's always been, always will be. Oh! Salacious B. Crumb. He is so amazing. I love this little guy. Our co-host, Cameron, he has a little puppet that he had of that same species. They're really, really great. Quakian monkeys. Quakian monkey lizards. Pissed off Luke. I love these illustrations. These are so good. And the battle illustrations. Oh my gosh, look at that. Fantastic. Oh yeah, we get a little of this from episode 2 inspiration. When Yoda was kicking Dooku's Tookus. It's pretty awesome. All right, so that's illustration volume. Now let's look at the third and final curated collection of comic art. Now, for those of you who are paying attention to the channel right now, I've released a new comic reading every day. I'm trying to have just one piece of content for every day. And so if we don't have a show, we don't have a mail time, we don't have a Willow episode, then I'm just going to release another comic book reading. But what you discover when you start reading these is that some of the art's kind of hokey, but some of it's genuinely good, like this, for example. You can see some of the early art from like the DC days or the very early Marvel days. Tusken Raiders, which is really apropos to the Book of Boba Fett being out right now. Han Solo is just so damn cool looking. Like, it's unfair how cool he looks. I just love these old illustrations from the comics. They're just so beautiful. And what it does is it reminds you that, you know, when Disney took over, they just turned everything that we knew as the true history of Star Wars and made it legend. And so, you know, you still have all these really great stories, like these storyboards, really great stories that are rich and detailed and add vibrancy to the Star Wars universe are just no longer. But that doesn't mean we can't still appreciate them. You know, whether it's canon or not, it doesn't matter if you like the content. You can still believe in your own head that it is true. You got Prince Zizor here, Princess Leia in her Bosch armor, I think it's called. I can't remember now. I might be saying that wrong. That's the armor she was wearing when she rescued Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt. Oh, you got the band, Snice Snoodles and the Rebo Band. Cameo in Book of Boba Fett too. It was awesome. I had these guys as figures as a kid. Little Hasbro action figures. They were awesome. I even had Jabba the Hutt too. My favorite was the Rancor. Oh, speaking of, talk about timing. Man. And Lando Calrissian in his bounty hunter outfit. That was another really, really great look as a kid playing with those toys. This video game, Star Wars Racers, is great. If you like racer games and you haven't played it, you should do yourself a favor. And just some of these, you know, wonderful comic illustrations. I mean, they're just great. Oh yeah, come on. Boba Fett v. Darth Vader. That's awesome. Look at that Darth Vader. He's got some big feet. I love creature design in Star Wars. And they have these really wonderful gate folds. Which way is it folding here? Here we go. Where you can see a really long extended version of the comic spread. But it's just beautiful. So yeah, this is the third and final of the Star Wars art books. You have your concept art, your illustration, and your comics. All of them were curated by... Sorry, my washer's running and it's super loud. It's annoying. I should have turned it off, but I'm not a professional. If you love Star Wars art, I highly recommend this trilogy of books. It can get a little pricey. You know, they run upwards of $30+ each. And so depending on your own budget for, you know, art books, you know, it may take you a little bit to save up for it, or you may just want to go splurge and get it all. I think it's totally worth it. I love just coming back to these books and looking at them when I'm just sort of relaxing in an afternoon. It transports me to that wonderful Star Wars universe, and I love to visit. I think it's fantastic, and I'm so pleased with what they're doing in the Disney Plus streaming service for Star Wars content, that adding beautiful legend art and design is just the icing on the cake. So that's going to do it for this Melt Time episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic day. And until next time, may the Force be with you.